Thank you for joining us. I am Drew Armstrong, the executive editor of Endpoints News, and welcome to Post Talk Live. Now, what China's biotech rise means for the US is still undecided. But I also think that the biotech community deserves a deeper debate about China biotech. We want to break the biotech debate into pieces, understand them, air out the disagreements, and let you hear from the most important voices. Now, before I get into tonight's main event, I want to thank our sponsor tonight, the American Biosecurity Initiative. You're going to be hearing from their executive director, Jennifer Crook, in just a moment. And I'd also like to thank MIT, our partner, and our host this evening. Without both of them, tonight would not be possible. Now, Jennifer, please come join us on the stage.
Thank you, Drew, and thank you to Endpoints for convening this event tonight. And thank you all for coming here to talk about these important issues. For many of you who have spent your lives in medicine, a national security perspective may not be one you've encountered before. I hope by the end of this conversation, you understand why it needs to be a part of the conversation. For 25 years, I've had the privilege of working on programs that focused on countering our adversaries as they tried to compromise our security. Most of that time was with the CIA, where I recently retired leading China work on emerging technology and competitive strategy. It was not long after 9/11 and the release of the 9/11 Commission report that I began my career at the agency. I watched our government work heroically to close vulnerabilities we all wished had been closed before thousands of lives were lost. What came next made sense strategically, but what we didn't have was a roadmap for what the implementation would look like. Crisis forces you to act without a plan. I carry both lessons with me always. Close the gaps before the crisis hits and understand what policies mean in practice. Will they make us safer, or are they just saying they'll make us safer? Real security is not measured by eye-catching headlines. Which brings me to medicine. The same Chinese Communist Party that directed a whole-of-country effort to dominate telecommunications and artificial intelligence has pursued medicine with the same intensity and coordination. I've watched this play out before. This time, it's something every American and our national defense cannot live without, and it's why I'm leading the American Biosecurity Initiative. So let me offer some insights from what the intelligence community and my career there taught me. The surest protection for America's medicine supply is a stronger America, built at home and extended through trusted allies. Here's the threat assessment. For decades, Beijing has treated medicine as strategic national security infrastructure, pairing every instrument of state power with predatory practices whenever necessary. Espionage, coercion, subsidies, procurement steering, coordinated talent recruitment, centralized trial networks that run early phase studies faster and cheaper than ours. And this is no longer a story about materials and generics. 1 in 3 new American drug candidates now start in China. 5 years ago, that number was nearly 0. China now hosts more clinical trials than any other country in the world. 7,000 in 2024 to our 6,000. And the competition has moved upstream into the next generation of medicines. And this is what strategic competition looks like. The sector has changed, but the playbook has not. So what do we do about it? It may not be what you'd expect. The reflective answer is to retreat and restrict tariffs, capital controls, mandates. That reflex has a record. Solar tariffs reached 250%, and China's share of the global market only grew. A century of protection for American shipbuilding ended with China building more than half of the world's commercial vessels And I watched from inside the intelligence community as China reacted to restrictions. It builds at home what it can no longer buy, and it steals whenever is necessary. Blanket restriction is performative security, rarely producing the real thing. It comes back to planning. At the agency, we treated planning as a continuous cycle. Act, assess, and adjust. Washington's goals are clear. Protect American medicine, strengthen our economy, and make the country safer. Blanket protectionism fails all three. It raises costs now, accelerates Beijing's near-term self-sufficiency goals, and risks surrendering long-term influence over the markets where standards are written. Strength works on every horizon, and it must start now. This is the case ABI brings to the debate, and these are the principles that guide us. Fund the basic research that becomes the next generation of cures. That NIH pipeline is something the rest of the world cannot replicate. And it deserves the seriousness we give to all defense matters. Modernize the FDA so discoveries safely reach patients in months rather than years. Speed is a national security advantage. Every month we shave from review gets patients life-saving treatments sooner and denies competitors strategic ground. Secure the supply chain through allied partnerships and domestic production. Roughly 9 in 10 active ingredients in American generic drugs originate abroad. Diversify across trusted allies on timelines that protect every active trial and patient. Redundancy removes medicine from the weapon list of the CCP. Treat talent as a national priority. It is a national priority, and the people are the program. The talent wants to work and stay here. I saw that in every mission I worked. Driving talent to Europe or China helps our competitors. Today, dozens of agencies operate under separate authorities for medicine, separate timelines, separate chains of command. We need one biosecurity strategy that aligns government's resources and intelligence with the industry's speed and science. We either match the CCP's coordinated approach now, or we respond too late. America is organized this way for energy, for semiconductors, for telecommunications. Medicine is the critical security infrastructure we don't think is critical. And the National Security Commission on Emerging Biotechnology, a bipartisan federal group, has estimated that there's a 3-year window for us to maintain the edge that we have, but that it's closing faster than expected. I would like to leave you with one final thought. America cannot decouple from China overnight. Pretending otherwise is not serious strategy. American presence in global markets, including China, is a strategic position, worth holding while we build at home and deepen our alliances. When America is present, America's standard travel with us. When we retreat, someone else writes the rules. Our mission at ABI is the latter. Building strength at home is the best short-term move, and it keeps every long-term option on the table. I'm not here to tell this room how to do their jobs. Many of you have spent decades doing it. I'm here tonight to contribute a different perspective to the debate, one that we believe can no longer be afforded to be overlooked. And what I can tell you from my decades of work in the field is that America is still ahead. And the moment to secure an advantage is while you still hold it. The conversations ahead will go deeper tonight, and the debate should be very interesting. I thank you for your attention and for contributing to the debate. Thank you.